Hey guys, Mario here, and today I'm here with a new trick tip. Today I'm going to be talking about how to manual. And manuals are very interesting because when you first start skating, it's one of the things that you can do to improve your board control. And basically I think this is a good idea to actually talk about it, and from my personal perspective give you some tips that might help you get better at manuals if you're starting out or if you're just trying to get better at them. And so first things first, I'm going to talk about the actual manual and how to get into the manual position, and also I'm going to talk about some exercises that you can do to get better at manuals. Personally, the ones that I usually do to get better at them. Also, throughout the whole video, I'm going to show you a bunch of examples of what a good manual looks like when you're completely balanced on that sweet spot. And also, I'm going to show you what a bad manual looks like when you're just out of control and you're moving your arms everywhere, and how to fix that. So, let's get started. Alright, so just from personal experience, when I first started skating, I didn't know whether to put pressure with my back foot or the front foot to actually balance on the board. But as I got better and better at them, I realized that the work that my back foot does on the board is actually minimal compared to the work that the front foot does. I mean, yes, you do have to work on the balance with your back foot when you're not controlling the board properly with your front foot, but that's only when you basically don't have enough board control with your front foot. So the main thing that you want to work on for manuals is basically just controlling the amount of pressure that you put with your back foot to equal that amount with your front foot. And sometimes you're not going to be putting the right amount of pressure with your back foot, which means that you're going to have to control the pressure with your front foot, and that's basically what I mean by having your back foot at rest. So basically what I did to get better at manuals was basically just doing stationary manuals at my garage. I sprained my ankle when I first started skateboarding a few months after, and then I wanted to get better at skateboarding, but I couldn't because I couldn't just skate at all. My foot was really swollen. So what I did was just do stationary manuals. And that was the only thing I could do, literally. And I got so good at controlling the board that I would set a timer on the floor and just look how long I could manual stationary. And I think my record was like 7 minutes and 30 seconds just stationary. Yeah, so that's how I got better at controlling the board. And then it gets pretty simple to do manuals on flat. The problem is when you actually try to do a manual on a curve like this, and that's where ollies come in. You have to be really comfortable with ollies. And right now I'm going to show you a couple of manuals of what a good manual looks like and what a bad manual looks like. So let's go. Alright, so this is a good example of what happens when you have most of your weight on the front of the board. And usually what I would do to fix it is just lean back and put more of your weight on the back foot. And this is the opposite, where basically I just put more weight on the back foot, and that causes my board to scrape on the floor. The more you practice them, the better you will get at manuals, and that's going to help you with your weight distribution, and you'll be much more consistent. Alright, so those were just a few examples of some manuals. Some where I clicked the board on the sidewalk, where it basically just went like this. And then some that I just lost control of my front foot and basically just lost the manual completely, and it went like this. Alright, so I'm going to give you some exercises that you can do in order to get better at manuals, even if you're just starting out or trying to get better at them. I'm sure this will help you out. Alright, so this will help you specifically if you're just going from a standing position into a manual, because it imitates the motion of going into regular stand, olling and jumping into a manual. So you just go. That should basically get you better at just controlling the board from a standing position into the manual. Another thing is actually just to play around with the footing or your foot placement on the board as you're doing manuals, especially if you're trying to do tricks out of manuals. So you just go like this, or you can even jump. This will basically help you get more board control if you're just playing around with these things. There are exercises to get you better. Another thing is, if you don't have a manual pad, you can just pretend to do a manual on flat, hauling into the manual, and right now I'm about to show you what it looks like. I know manuals can be very tricky and a little frustrating, but if you just keep practicing, you'll become much more consistent with them, and in the end, they're very fun to do. Alright guys, so thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know if it helped. Let me know if you're getting better at manuals. I'm always looking out for new ideas, so if you have any other trick tips that you want me to make, let me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe, like, and leave a comment down below, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Peace.
Definitely check out Skateboarding Made Simple. It's available on all these platforms, iBooks, BrailleSkateboarding.com, and Google Play. It's the most comprehensive video we've ever made, and it teaches skateboarding better than anything else out there. You won't be disappointed.